Are you looking for a build that's really easy to build, can fit just about anywhere, and you could potentially take it on the go to LAN parties or even if you have friends to their houses? Well, then do we have a build for you today? Thanks to our friends at Zotac Gaming and NVIDIA, we got a chance to showcase Zotac's latest 4070 Super GPU, the Twin Edge OC. This tiny GPU seemed like the perfect candidate for an equally compact build that was packed full of power. Enter this right here, the NR200P Max, a case that is no stranger to the team here at Robeytech and has been shown in both full build reviews as well as other live stream builds. This case, though it is $399, already includes an 850 watt PSU and a 280 millimeter radiator, as well as basically pre-routed cables. And it has all of the right cooling and power to walk away with one heck of a PC with maybe an hour or two tops of installation to get this thing up and running and ready for a Windows operating system. Don't believe me? Well, let's check out a build right now. We are building, huge thanks to the team over at Zotac and NVIDIA GeForce. We are building a PC using this bad boy right here, which is this right here is the Zotac Twin Edge 4070 Super. It's so small that I had to build like a small form factor PC. Today we're gonna be doing this right here. We're gonna be using this little bad boy right here. Huge shout out to Zotac for this. I mean, this GPU, it's so tiny. In fact, we'll do an unboxing of it here in a minute. But what you can see why I was like, guys, I gotta do something that's befitting of so much power in such a little, gonna pop this open. And the other thing too is you'll also see something else I actually like about Zotac GPUs. Legume Lagoon, thank you very much for the sub. The other thing I really like about Zotac GPUs as well is how they do their unboxing. A lot of people use, their surround for the GPU. A lot of people use anti-static bags, but they use like an anti-static, also like bubble wrapped. So just a little bit of extra protection around the actual GPU as well. But dude, check this out. There you go. Look at how tiny that is. I mean, when you compare, okay, just to give you an idea, and I know you guys love it when I do this. This is the GPU right here, and then when we grab the banana for scale, I mean, that's just giving you an idea of just how small this case really, how small this GPU really is. So the banana, which is 7.5 inches, just so you guys know, just when you want to know size of banana, this is just showing you just in terms of what you're basically, in terms of overall size, we actually have a really good size, a really nice size one. And then again, this one still uses, because we still got the 12 plus 4-pin connection, and then a nice clean backplate. So, and then with the NR200P, it should be like this. I don't remember if the Max is like this or this, but it's also an attractive looking card with a little gold as well. But here we go, starting with our small MOBO right here. RG Strix B650E-I. Okay, here we go. So let's pop this down. Ooh, a nice pop there still. Okay, let's go ahead and put in our NVMe while we're still waiting for the clicks to come down. All in all, everything else that I need for this build is already inside of this box, which is actually pretty cool. So outside of the GPU, like here we have it. Like this is, we're already kind of ready to go. Okay, here we go, guys. Everything else we need is inside of this tiny box right here. And this is gonna be the whole PC. You know what? I probably shouldn't have just let that sit there because I think that has glass in it. Yeah, it does. There's just random glass sitting there. The thing I love so much about this and why I love it and I love to show it off on Robeytech is because it has everything you need already to basically easily set up a PC. So inside of this little tiny box, it's already got an AIO, it's already got a power supply, it's pre-wired. You're gonna see us just kind of install it, and we're gonna get to the fun part really, really quick. Yeah, so. So here it is, it's all jammed in here, as you can see. So we have our little extra jammy jam. Here's all of our contents. And then as you can see, everything's kind of pre-wired. So we have our protective. The only thing we'll have to do is we do have to use an extension because this was pre-40 series. So we'll have to use a couple extensions to power up our 4070, but not a big deal. We've got, okay, so we will need to put thermal paste on. So that's I wanted to check that before I made the decision. And then this pops out. And there we go, guys, that's it. Look, this is like power supply, there's all of our cables. Okay, so we'll go to top down here, and just to give you guys an idea of why I really like this case, especially for new builders. So again, we have everything we need, right? Like it's all basically rehooked up. All of the cables, like even look, check this out right here. We have a pre-wired, very nicely sleeved CPU just waiting right there. All of our motherboard cables are right here. And then you have your AIO. So this is a 280 millimeter AIO, which is gonna be perfectly fine for a 7800 XDD. You could do a 14.7. You could potentially even do a 14.9, especially if you turn off MCE. You're gonna see it's gonna be warm, but again, a lot of potential in terms of what you're capable of putting inside of this. And then again, even room-wise, you're gonna see I'm gonna put this 4070 in here, but I mean, you have enough room potentially to put a 4070 Ti Super, and we'll grab another Zotac card and let's see what we can get inside of this. So we could even potentially go a little bit bigger. Okay, so there we go. That's already in, which is great. So we got that done. Now what we can do is we can get to our pack here, our NR200P accessory pack. We're gonna get our AIO installed. One thing we're going to not do, or at least I hope we're not going to do, is we're not going to forget to take off the plastic. HD audio is going to go down over here. Boom. That is so easy and beautiful. Okay, next thing we got to plug in, which remember, we've already plugged in our CPU header. It's in the top left there. So this is just going to go right here. There we go. Okay, now guys, everything else is just about making this look pretty, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hook up this. We only need two. Okay, so this is our Gen 4 riser cable. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So I got this is our, that's so we can put in our GPU. So we can plug in our GPU. So we should have everything ready now to actually put the GPU in. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go, guys. Our small Zotac. This is a 4070 Super, guys. Look at how small that is. It's like we have way more room than I thought. You could potentially put a 4070 Ti Super in there. But nice, small GPU, which is gonna make it easier for the small form factor. We're gonna use Excalibur. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. There we go. Okay, so here's our side panel. And the standard one. There we go. Which I think that looks really good, right? Boom. Looks nice and clean. Let's throw our front panel on. Top glass. There we go. And then the last part. So you have both side panels. So you have one that's like this, or you could replace the one in the front and actually also have gray on both sides. But there you go. That's the whole build. You can still see the GPU, it looks great. There's the build. And then again, cables managed and looking pretty. Let's now see, does it post? Three, two, one. Ooh, white light. And there it is. So even with all of the talking, joking, and blabbering, the build took me about 2 hours and I was taking my time. The thing about the NR200P Max is that all of the cables are routed to the right location. So it's easy as pop in your motherboard, connect your cables, put in your GPU, and then Bob's your uncle, you got it up and running and it's ready to go as a PC. But before we jump into thermals and benchmarks, let's double check what we crammed inside of this little beastie box. At its heart, this build was focused around the Zotac Gaming RTX 4070 twin-edge overclock GPU. If you want to see how this stacks up against other 40 series GPUs, check out our Super Buyer's Guide right here. It's super. And while you're checking that out, if you are interested in the latest cases and PC hardware, and you love seeing the latest tech as soon as it releases, you know what, why not like and subscribe? That way you get to see all of the videos, plus get the latest dirt on all the latest techs, and maybe not miss any of the giveaways that we do. Now, to bring out the best in this GPU, we needed to pair it with an epic CPU, and in this case, that was the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. This is all gaming all the way, baby. 3D V-Cache is a favorite for many games like Call of Duty and more, and it is currently one of the best gaming CPUs on the market. For RAM, we did 32 gigs of Kingston Fury at 6000 megahertz, and we also did 2 terabytes of Kingston Fury NVMe storage for all your gaming and OS needs. For cooling and power, that all came with the NR200P Max, so no added hardware, which is why this build came out to a very nice $2,100, which given what you get for that price is a great deal, especially given the size of the build. So then how did it perform, Robey? Well, let's kick it off with thermals. The NR200P has a 280mm AIO that kept our Ryzen 7 7800X3D just like where we want it to be. At idle, we were looking at 39 degrees Celsius and then jumping all the way up to 87 degrees when we cranked all the cranks and turned on all the knobs, pumping out a Cinebench score of 17,660. For gaming temps, it was also perfectly fine for our build, averaging out about 71 degrees across Cyberpunk, Horizon Forbidden West, and Diablo 4. For GPU, it was all good, with a ton of room because of all the room around that tiny twin-edge overclocked GPU. At idle, we were looking at a nice and frosty 37 degrees Celsius, with gaming and low temps averaging around 74 degrees Celsius. Also, we did test with both the tempered glass and the standard side panel, noticing only a less than 1 degree difference between the two panels. That, however, may improve if you do add an intake fan or two at the bottom, but don't be afraid to show off that beautiful GPU. It will still perform beautifully. Now, I do want to talk about airflow because if you wanted to improve the temps, you could. Not that I really see a reason, but some of you like to min-max, so here it is. The NR200P Max only has 2 fans, and those are set as exhaust fans attached to the 280mm AIO at the top of the case. So air is essentially pulled in from the bottom and the sides of the case and then exhausted through the top 280mm AIO. Now, if you wanted to add some thinner intake fans, like for instance the Arctic P12 Slim or the Corsair AF120 Slims, that should improve your temperatures as it will feed air directly into both the AIO and the GPU, and there is room to mount them at the bottom if you wish, given you use the slim fans. Now for gaming performance. Now, given we're showing off the newest stuff from NVIDIA, it is going to be a bit different this time around than the other build videos that we have a tendency to show. For this time, we checked out games like Cyberpunk 2077, Horizon Forbidden West, and some Diablo 4, all using the latest and greatest technology from NVIDIA like DLSS, DLAA, ray reconstruction, path tracing, frame generation, and of course, some NVIDIA Reflex. Now, if you want to see the uncut version with all the MSI Afterburner stats and everything bobbling up there in the top corner, you can see just how well it does. Check out the full live stream right here. And, enjoy. It was very entertaining. I think so anyway. Starting with Cyberpunk 2077 at 1440p, just to flex the little muscles on this beast, we cranked all the knobs to 11 and did path tracing, ray reconstruction, and popped on frame generation so we could just see what this little GPU was capable of, and it ended up averaging out 90 frames per second. Now, we know you're gonna ask, but what about without frame generation? Because I want all my frames to be real all the time. Don't worry, we got you covered. And with all the knobs at 11, path tracing, ray reconstruction, and this little beast pulled out 61 FPS, which is actually bonkers given what that thing was throwing at it. So what about your standard fare Cyberpunk 2077, Robey, the way that, the fine folks at CD Projekt Red meant for it to be played? Not experimental path tracing, just raw, no upscaling, and using some DLAA, which is AI-powered anti-aliasing, on raw, basically frames to make it look as crisp and clean as possible. About the most demanding you can be on a GPU for Cyberpunk 2077, well, how about 41 FPS? Now finally, just normal Cyberpunk 2077, how it was meant for most of us to play it. DLSS set to balance, graphics set to ultra, along with ray tracing and no frame generation. You're looking at a very nice and healthy 90 FPS, with more possible if you wanted to add frame generation. Again, a lot of little power in this little bitty box. Now let's pop over to Horizon Forbidden West, again at 1440p with high graphical settings, with DLAA, meaning no upscaling whatsoever, and with NVIDIA Reflex on, we were looking at a nice and smooth 80 FPS. And just look at how good this game looks. Okay, now what if we popped up to very high graphics? Well, this time we did that. We did 1440p. We used DLSS upscaling, but only up to quality given how well it ran at DLAA, and we jumped to 130 frames per second on average. So again, if you wanted upscaling or no, you get a great gameplay experience with more than enough frames to really enjoy this universe. Okay, last game on the list. With the addition of ray tracing in Diablo 4, we decided to play some super cranked Diablo 4, which felt like a great LAN title to test out if you wanted to bring this little bad boy on the go. Well, how does 110 FPS with DLSS on performance, no frame generation, and all the crazy ray tracing options turned on? So there you have it, guys. An incredible system with a ton of performance, and we showed you how it was built, we tested, and we even gamed on it. Heck, we even told you what you could do to potentially improve it. The cool thing is that not only did we build the system on stream, we even gave away the system on stream, which was even cooler. But enough about me telling you what were my thoughts. What about your thoughts? Did you like the build? What would you have changed? And did it perform better or worse than what you expected? Let us know all that down in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button, slap that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss another video like this one right here on Robeytech, especially when we're giving away PCs. Also, if you have questions about this build, or you want to discuss PC build or other tech topics, head on over to our Discord server, discord.gg/Robeytech. Great place to talk about all of these subjects, meet other tech and PC enthusiasts, and who knows, you might just make a friend. Also, feel free to follow me on all the other socials at Robeytech, absolutely everywhere. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.